Welcome to Play with the Universe. I'm Ulla Suokko, your guide to deep energetic transformation and to the signs of the universe. Thank you for being here. In this episode, we'll explore the patterns that hold you back and how to break their spell, so you can begin living from a bigger vision with clarity and confidence. And by the way, if you're looking for a sign, this is it. In my world, there are no coincidences. You are here for a reason. So today we're talking about something that quietly shapes your life, your story. Not just the stories you tell other people, but also the story you tell yourself, your inner story. The story that tells you who you are and what is possible for you. The story that defines what love means or what success means for you. The story that dictates what you deserve or don't deserve. We think that we are responding to reality, but we are responding to our interpretation of reality, or better said, we are reacting to our interpretation of reality. When you become aware of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional patterns moving through your mind throughout the day, and not only moving through your mind, but moving through your system, I invite you to ask yourself, is this true? Because limiting stories are like spells. Spells that we continue to keep alive without realizing we are under the spell. Maybe the spell says, I'm not enough. I don't have enough. This always happens to me. Nothing ever works out. Life is a struggle. I have to prove myself. I am too much. I am not seen. I have to stay small to be accepted or loved. I cannot trust people. I am not supported. And after enough repetition, the story no longer feels like a story. It feels true to you. Repetition imprints your brain and nervous system. Your brain's filtering system looks for evidence for your identity and the story you believe in. It ignores other versions of reality. This is why you can consciously want change and still continue recreating the same experiences. Because change doesn't happen by thought alone when the old story is still active emotionally, energetically, and neurologically within you. If you expect rejection, you notice rejection everywhere. You experience rejection. If you expect struggle, your life feels heavy before anything has even happened. And over time, what began as a thought, it becomes your identity. So the real question is, are you creating from the possibility of now? Are you creating from the truth of who you are? Or are you creating from the emotional memory of the past? Are you under the spell of a limiting story? Awareness is the key. Because you cannot change what you cannot see. The moment you begin noticing the pattern consciously, the spell already begins to weaken. You begin noticing, oh, there's the fear again. There's the story. There's that same emotional reaction again. There's the part of me that already assumes this will not work. This is powerful because awareness creates space. Awareness gives you a choice. Before, the story was running automatically. The spell was on. Now, as you begin to see it, you are witnessing it. And this is where I want to make this very practical, Because I hear you asking, so how do I actually begin changing the pattern? The first step is awareness without any reaction. So no fighting it, no fixing it, no judging it, not trying to understand it or change it, not making it mean anything about you, just witnessing. Hello, pattern. This begins changing your relationship with the story. You are not the pattern. You are not the story. You are not your past. Through awareness, you can then also stop feeding the story and strengthening the spell with your emotional energy. What then feeds the pattern? Any way you engage with it gives it energy. Resisting the pattern gives it energy. Not wanting it actually fuels it. Talking about it with your friends gives it more power over you, especially because so often talking about it is just repeating the story with passion. Can you believe this happened? Can you believe this is still going on? We affirm limitation through our focus, our words, our feeling behind the story. Every time we tell it, either to ourselves or to someone else. And over time, your nervous system begins treating the story as familiar truth. By becoming conscious of it, you begin interrupting the pattern and breaking its spell. Not by pretending everything is positive or not feeling your feelings, but by becoming present, to stop unconsciously rehearsing and reinforcing the identity that keeps you small and keeps you under the spell. In fact, I prefer to stay away from negative and positive altogether and choose instead, let's look at what serves you at this time. It's not good or bad, negative or positive. It is what it is. And the question is, does it serve you? So feel your feelings, absolutely. But be aware of not building an entire identity around them. When feeling appears, the mind might say, nothing will ever change. This means I cannot do it. But what if the feeling is simply energy moving through the body? According to the brain researcher Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, when an emotion is triggered in the brain, it takes about 90 seconds for the chemical process of that emotion to rise, peak, and pass through the body. So it passes through unless you engage with it, unless you resist it, or try not to have it, or try to change it. Instead, become still and conscious about what is actually active within you. Because the old story is not transformed through fixing or criticizing or blaming or shaming. It transforms through awareness. In other words, emotions pass through naturally if we stop feeding them with stories, with resistance, with fear, or analysis. Why is this happening? It means becoming present enough to allow the feeling without unconsciously turning it into identity, into a spell, into a story of your life. Practice wearing the energy of your highest vision for yourself. Because if you only allow yourself to feel worthy once life changes, once success happens, once love arrives, once the money is there, then your nervous system remains trapped in waiting mode. And in the old story, easily. Your future changes the moment you stop emotionally repeating the past. And this does not mean pretending to be someone you're not. It means beginning to relate to yourself differently. Ask yourself, what would change if I stopped speaking to myself through limitation? What would change if I allowed myself to blossom? What would change if I trusted that something greater is possible for me? The universe doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to the energy of who you believe yourself to be. And the same is true to your own brain and nervous system. It is easy to feel stuck when you are under the spell of the version of you that feels familiar and safe. A version that was shaped through survival patterns, that was shaped by everything you learned to believe about yourself along the way. But that version is not the fullness of who you are. You are not your old emotional programming. You are not limited to the identity you learned in your past. You are consciousness. You are awareness. You are possibility itself. The energy that creates universes flows through you and creates as you. And the beautiful thing is that the moment you become aware of the story, you can begin choosing whether that particular story moves with you into your future or not. Freedom begins with awareness. Then you have a choice. So today I want to invite you into something very simple. Start paying attention to the stories you repeat most often, especially the ones that make you feel small, heavy, disconnected, unseen, or limited in any way. Gently ask yourself, who would I be without this story? What might become possible if I stopped believing in this identity every day? What energy would I embody if I truly believed in a new, brilliant identity? The old story only has power while it remains unconscious. The moment you shine the light of awareness, something new becomes possible for you. In the next episode, we'll look at identity and its importance in broadcasting who you are and what you deserve to the universe. The universe always says yes. Our part is to pay attention and to choose what it is saying yes to. It is a joy to play with the universe with you. If you'd like to explore what all is possible for you at this time, I invite you to connect with me. You will find the link in the episode notes. Trust yourself. Trust this moment. Trust life. You are infinitely loved.